Hey. Hey.
お願いします。
お願いします。And your head up and down. And side to side. So, lift the shoulders. So, circles one way. And the other way. So, your arms going forward. So, and going back. So, and to the front. And opening and close. So, hands in front, nice Sabaki. Hey, to the side, right. Both sides. Keep your hands in front of your nose. Keep your nose aligned to your belly button. All the way up, all the way down. So. And sideways. The level of your hips, the level of your knee, and at the level of your foot. Right side. Isa, karada o. Side. The other side. Reach both sides. And the back. inside of your legs, inside of your legs. Side, inside, back of your legs, arms. One more time in the back and the front. Oh. Hey. Hands up and forward. And hands down. Oh, your knees front to back. And circles our way. Circles the other way. And both sides. Bring your knees to the sides. 1, 2. So, and down. 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 So, and open your toes. 4, 8. Toes. And down again. So. And your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Raising of your knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pivot to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Side, raising your leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pivot to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pivot. Now raising your leg backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pivot to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Open your legs, Jigotai. Hands inside, elbows inside, pushing your knees out. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Holding your toes, raising your hips. And down again. So, breathing in, Breathing out. Ki. Ko. And toes, hips. And down one more time. So. Hey, ki. Ko. Ki. Ko. And toes and hips. And up. And your hips sideways. Good. Circles one way. Circles the other way. So open your legs from side to side. And a bit deeper on one side. The other side. One side, toes up. And the other side, toes up. And side to side. So, open your legs, elbows down. So, bring your legs in, hands down, from side to side. One. And down. And coming forward. So, back stretch. So, forward again. And your hips up. And your hips down. And back. Forward again. Hips up. Hips down. And back. One time, forward. Hips up. Hips down. So back. This time pushing in four directions. Hey, pushing forward, pushing up, pushing down, and pushing back. And one, forward, up, down, back. Two, forward, up, down, back. Three, forward, up, down, back. Four, forward, up, down, back. Five, forward, up, down, back. Six, forward, up, down, back. Seven, up, down, back. Eight, forward, up, down, back. Nine, forward, up, down, back. 10, forward, up, time. Jumping halfway in. Okay. Halfway in and side kicks. Okay, one at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jumping all the way in. Zero tie and squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back, slowly push down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turning up and back stretch. All right, so we're going to do it again. Just a suggestion here. When you're doing your legs kick side to side, as with everything, your tenkan, okay, we're going to be talking a lot about the tenkans today, the preparatory stage before your technique. Okay, so as in Aikido, as in physical exercise, as in work, as in everything, your preparatory stage before doing what we have to do is very important. So in this case, okay, when you are on your this position to prepare for your side kick, open up first, make sure you have a good stability, and then extend. Okay, you're coming back and you close. So the direction that you're going to go, make sure you pivot your foot on that direction, so your foot is completely facing on the direction that you're going to move, in order to have a good capacity to do that, and then close. So take your tenkan, in this case, your preparatory phase is to open up and then move, close, open, move, close, open, move, close, and so on. Open, okay, so very important to do your tenkan properly, opening your leg, setting yourself up structurally in order to do your kick through. Okay, sometimes we go here and then we try to do the kick through without a proper setup first. Sometimes our body already knows what it's doing and it's fine, but sometimes you have to just slow it down a little bit, make sure that your foot is properly aligned before you proceed to do your kick through. Okay, so tenkan, please, your preparatory phase. Okay, so let's do it one more time. Jumping halfway in, opening up, and extend. Keep your toes up, feet off the ground, like parallel to the ground, and your core engaged. Your hand is attached to your body, it's supporting the movement. It's not kind of holding itself forward, it's here, then comes back again. Turn to the side, hand starts out, pulls, and assists the movement. Okay, turn, and again, opening up, extend, and towards the shoulder. Close, opening up, extend, and towards the shoulder. And again, opening up, extend, and towards the shoulder. And opening up, extend, and towards the shoulder. Opening up, extend, and towards shoulder. Open up, hands towards shoulder. Open up, shoulder. Open up, shoulder. Open up, shoulder. Last one. Open up, shoulder. And jumping all the way in. Okay? Let's now remember, for deep squats, your head leads the way up, your hips lead the way down. Okay? Careful that it's not the other way around. Careful that your hips don't lead on the way up and that your head leads on the way down. Okay? So, on the way down, your hips, on the way up, your head. Okay? On the way down, your hips, On the way up, your head. Down, hips. Up, head. Down, hips. Up, head. Go. 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 Kicking back, pushing down slowly, curling up, and back stretch. Go. Hey, Shirokemi into shin box position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, in that shin box, stretch forward as much as you can. And up, turn around, and stretch back. And change shin box to the other side. Stretch forward as much as you can. Push back. And change side. Forward as much as you can. Back. Change. Forward. Back. And this time Ushiro-kemi, and then we're going to come up all the way up into the extension, okay? Ushiro-kemi, up and up into shin box extension, okay? And 2, shin box extension. So, and 3, extension. 4, extension. 5, extension. 6, stand, 7, stand, 8, stand, 9, stand, 10, extend. All right, stand Joko Ukemi. Okay, if you have a hard surface or no floor, just do them while sitting down. Okay, you can do them while sitting down. More of a massage for your back. If you can do them on your knees because you have a padded surface, let's do them on our knees. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Simple kemi, same recommendation. If you don't have a padded surface, only try to do your stretch forward and your stretch back. Keep your core engaged and your extension happening. If you can do your, you have a padded surface, you can do your full Sempo Ukemi, okay? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Standing up, please. Alright. Funakogi. Okay, Funakogi. So, the Funakogi, remember, in order to stay safe while you do it dynamically, a few things have to be in place. Number one, always remember to align your knee with your toes, and your toes are, open, slightly open. Okay, so you need to move careful to not have your toes inside. Have them at least aligned to your body, but ideally a little bit open. So you kind of open the space for the movement to exist in there. Okay, so alignment of toes and knees, with ideally the toes pointing forward or slightly open. That's number one. Number two is your hips, which are aligned to that. That's what you're going to be pulling and pushing, even when it's dynamically. Careful to not confuse it with the lower back, okay? Especially on the way back, that you may pull over too much with the lower back instead of moving the hips back, okay? And then therefore pulling your back. And number three, okay, your arms, even though they extend vigorously, they never hyperextend. They are always in a little bit of a curve position, like Manos always reminds us. So in a little bit of a curve position, so your elbow never fully hyperextends. So when you throw your hands vigorously forward, your hands are 99% extend, little bit of a curve at the end, but never 100% extended, which means a hyperextension can occur on the elbow, okay? So alignment of your knees, remember to be using your hip forward and backwards, even if it's done vigorously, and your arm is never 100% extended to prevent hyperextension of the elbow. Okay, so Funakogi, hands in front. Yi ho, 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 yi ho. Go. Urudama. Shaking your spirit down. Hey, right foot. Okay, so. Hey. Isa, 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 Isa. So, cool. Hey. Okay, so this week the focus of the training of dojo has been on the different forms of Tenkan. It's more important than the forms, the concept of Tenkan, as Mano Sensei explains it. When we begin Aikido, many of us are introduced to two basic movements, one being the idea of entering without collision, I have partner in front, and then I enter without collision, I enter without collision, entering without collision, which it's irimi. Okay, irimi is one of the concepts that we get introduced early, and then very early in our practice, we also get introduced to the concept of turning around our partner, and normally that movement is what is referred as Tenkan. So many people, many of us correctly, end up always interpreting Tenkan with the idea of turning, especially turning on the outside of my partner, turning. But Moreno Sensei states clearly that the idea of Tenkan is not the idea of turning. That idea of turning has its own name, Mawaru, which is to turn. Mawaru, we turn, and the idea of Tenkan is more like the phase. It's a preparatory phase that happens before every movement. As such, any movement that precedes the execution of a technique that places us in the correct position, in the most optimal position, in order to then execute a technique more efficiently, is considered a Tenkan. Okay, and then therefore there are different types of Tenkan. And obviously even movements that will sound like contradictory in ideas. We'll review a few, like a little bit this morning. We try to work out this week a lot in the dojo. So let's start just with the very first thing. Normally when we practice by ourselves, this wouldn't be called Soto Tenkan, because we are only on ourselves. If you are only pivoting, okay. If we are with a partner, or if the movement precedes another movement, okay, in solo, then that's what we can call it Tenkan, a preparatory phase, the moment when something changes, converges, is getting prepared. So if we practice by ourselves, we know the movement, okay, the correct name would be Mawaru Ashi, Mawaru Ashi, Mawaru Ashi, Mawaru Ashi. If we practice with a partner, in preparation of a technique, or probably solo in preparation for a technique, then we can call it Soto Tenkan. So Soto Tenkan, hand front, and Soto Tenkan, and up, Soto Tenkan, and up, Soto Tenkan, up, Soto Tenkan, Soto Tenkan, and Soto Tenkan, in this case, although we are in solo, is assuming, for example, that we're going to continue with another technique, okay? Any technique. Okay? So now we're going to move into Uchi Tenkan, which is when we prepare on the inside of our own, of the movement, of our own body and the movement. What we were moving on the outside of the movement, now we're moving on the inside of the movement. So first, with Uchi Tenkan, there are several ways of doing it. So the back foot moves first, Uchi Tenkan, on the side. Back foot moves first, 90 degrees, Uchi Tenkan. Back foot, 90 degrees, Uchi Tenkan. Back foot, 90 degrees. Back foot, 90 degrees. Uchi Tenkan. Okay, so that's when our back foot is moving first. Okay, so now this time let's practice Uchi Tenkan with the front foot moving first. Okay, to the front of the movement. Okay, so Uchi Tenkan, moving first. Front foot moving first. Front foot moving first. Front foot moving forward and first. So forward. And then we have another form which sometimes is practiced in some places, which is a very similar form. You know, when we enter and we end up 45 degrees in this position, okay, normally we will begin with that back foot moving and aligning in any angle, in any direction. It can be 45 in that direction, it can be 90 degrees in this direction, it can be 45 in this direction. So remember, the angle of a movement does not change the nature of a movement. Those are different things. The angle of a movement does not change its nature. The nature is the preparation from the inside. The same way that a turn, you know, can be a little turn, or it can be a big turn. You know, it's still a turn. A movement on the outside. Okay. So anyway, so when we move the back foot, but now we're going to move is what sometimes people practice in some schools, which is the front foot moves back and aligns. Okay, the front foot moves back and aligns. Front foot moves back. Front foot. Front foot. So it's important to observe and be mindful of those two movements. So when we have any teacher presenting in any course, we are aware of what the teacher is doing. One option would be, for example, to move the back foot forward into 90 degrees. Another option will be to move the front foot forward. The other option would be to move the front foot back. Okay, so all of them can be more or less considered similar movements. It's important to notice the difference on them so we are aware. So back foot moves side, front foot forward, front foot moves back. Okay? Once again, back, front, front. Back, back, front, and front. I guess the most typical technique that happens with this type of forms is Shiho Nage. So for typical Shiho Nage, so here and from there, you know, execute. Okay, could be with the back foot moving forward. Okay, could be with the front foot moving forward. Or we could be with the front foot moving back, and then same idea. Okay, so that would be the most typical kind of movement that we will get. With that, we study quite a few others during the week, but that's the idea. So, you know, Soto Tenkan, Uchi Tenkan. Okay. And then we can have Ryoho Tenkan, which is a double preparation, sometimes called Irimi Tenkan. We stepping in and turn. Stepping in, turn. So Ryoho Tenkan or Irimi Tenkan. Each, knee, each, knee, each, knee, each, knee, each, knee, each, knee. So now, just to you know, to make it more, I don't know, consistent or confusing, let's just practice it in four directions. Remember, what we said is the direction or the angle of a movement does not change its nature. So in this case, we're entering and turning in 180 degrees, entering and turning 180 degrees. But if we enter and turn in 45 degrees, enter and turn, that was 180, but if we enter and turn 45, enter, turn 45, it still has that sensation of Ryoho Tenkan at the moment of a double preparation, okay? So let's do 45 degrees now instead of 180 degrees. Keep stepping and turning, okay? So each, knee, and three, four, rock, six, hatch, you, Okay, so in that sense, we have those three basic forms of Tenkan. Okay, so Tenkan, Ichi Tenkan, Ryoho Tenkan. Okay, any preparatory movement. One that sometimes people get confused, for example, is when Mono-sensei does an irimi, for example, this ski, and then he does this Tenkan, you know, and then he proceeds to execute something, you know. So in that sense, he may be entering with an irimi form, calling it a Tenkan, and then proceeding to execute. Okay, once again, when he refers to that idea, he's referring to his idea of the irimi as a preparatory movement in you know, prior to the finishing position of a technique, right? So anytime that he refers to that, we need to kind of deconstruct the idea that this is Tenkan, or the idea of a preparatory movement. The important thing of a preparatory movement, of course, is that it puts us in the most adequate place in order to execute technique. You know, position before technique is another one of those maxims of practice. If our position is wrong, our technique will be wrong or inefficient. But so many times, in order to rush for the technique, we do not get our position right, and then that develops in an exercise that is not efficient. In a certain sense, the most difficult thing of training is to get the correct position. Like, especially with our training, you know, in our training, so many of our movements aim to end up right in this, which is in the martial arts world, taking the back of someone is possibly one of the strongest positions that you can ever get. It's one of the most prime positions because it has so many advantages from that place. And in Aikido, most of our movements, either with a turn, okay, with a pivot, okay, or with an entry, all end up there. So no wonder that many martial art friends and colleagues say, well, look, whatever technique you do is fine. How did you get there is the problem. Okay, so what they are questioning is not so much, you know, the arm locks and the pins and the locks and the chokes and the projections. That's, they say, okay, we understand all of that. What we find very difficult is to obtain the position that allows you to do those things efficiently. So that may be one of the Aikido greatest strengths, you know, or greatest weaknesses if we are not careful how to place ourselves in the correct position before starting a technique. So that's why the idea of Tenkan as the preparatory movement prior to the technique is so important, and not to get narrowly confined on the idea of just turning. Okay, so that's what we're trying to practice this. Let's finish up. Right. Hey. Arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you very much. Hey.